Have you ever considered the possibility that your eyes, the very organs you rely on to navigate the world, might actually be blinding you to true reality?
Wow. It is a profound and slightly unsettling thought, isn't it?
It really is.
Welcome, everyone. Today we are stepping into the fourth beautiful episode of our spiritual journey.
Yes, episode 4.
Every Sunday, we sit together to embark on this deep dive, providing a complete, detailed explanation of the extraordinary book Nazraya Noor, or The Science of Color and Light.
By Hazrat Khawaja Shamsuddin Azeemi.
Exactly. And we are picking up exactly where we left off in our last gathering, moving forward into the next chapters.
Yes, and I think it is important to remind everyone that the core purpose of this deep dive remains the same.
Right.
It is to elevate human consciousness, to awaken the spiritual awareness hidden within you, and to journey toward the true recognition of Allah and His divine attributes. This gathering is really for anyone who yearns to understand the unseen secrets of the universe.
It is. And the topics we are unpacking today are, well, they are truly soul-stirring.
They absolutely are.
We're going to explore the absolute necessity of a spiritual teacher, the hidden dimensions of mankind across millions of worlds, the true physical and spiritual nature of light, and the astonishing reality behind our senses.
It completely changes how you perceive the world around you.
It really does. So let us begin. Hazrat Khawaja Shamsuddin Azeemi states early in these chapters that just as a person needs a master to learn any worldly art or science, a spiritual teacher is required for the spiritual path.
Yes.
He points out that if a painter does not guide their student, the student can never achieve perfection in the art of painting.
SubhanAllah, there's such a deep, resonant truth in that simplicity,
Yeah.
Khawaja Sahib is guiding us to understand that spiritual knowledge is not something poured into you from the outside.
Right. It is not an external addition.
Exactly. The capacity to paint, or in this case, the spiritual capacity to perceive the unseen, well, it is already resting quietly inside you.
Oh, wow.
The spiritual teacher simply awakens those dormant abilities.
I love that framing. The knowledge is already there, just, waiting.
Yes, waiting to be illuminated.
But I have to push back a little here, or rather ask a highly practical question for you, the listener.
Of course.
Because we live in an incredibly noisy era. There are self-proclaimed gurus everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
In a world full of so much spiritual commercialism, how do you recognize a true spiritual master? I mean, what does Khawaja Sahib say we should actually be looking for?
That is the essential question, isn't it? And Khawaja Sahib provides very clear, profound criteria for this.
Okay.
He advises that the seeker must deeply observe the day-to-day life of the spiritual guide.
So their everyday actions.
Yes, you have to look at how deeply connected this person is to their own soul. Does worldly dominance, things like greed, jealousy, or the pursuit of power overpower them? Or do they possess complete independence from worldly desires? But the most beautiful, undeniable litmus test Khawaja Sahib points out is, well, it is how you actually feel in their presence.
Ah, the internal shift.
Exactly. He states that a true spiritual teacher is one whose very proximity redirects a person's mind toward the transcendent world.
Mashallah.
As long as you sit with them, the dark shadows of grief, fear, depression, and anxiety, they simply vanish. Furthermore, they hold no personal expectations of anyone.
Mashallah. Think about that for a moment. Just sitting in someone's presence and feeling all your modern anxieties, the stress of work, the fear of the future, completely evaporate.
It is a profound piece.
That brings such peace to the heart.
It does, and it goes beyond just feeling calm. Khawaja Sahib explains that in the gathering of a true spiritual teacher, your mind actually feels expanded.
Expanded? Like in what way?
Well, your consciousness becomes so absorbed in the cosmic system that your thinking patterns are fundamentally elevated.
Oh, I see.
You begin to tap into unseen knowledge. You stop thinking in terms of your tiny daily problems, and you start thinking in cosmic universal terms.
Subhanallah. That shift in the pattern of our thinking is a perfect bridge to another astonishing reality Khawaja Sahib unveils.
Yes, the states of being.
Exactly. He reveals that within a human being, during the day and night, there are approximately 11,000 distinct urges or states that operate.
11,000.
11,000. Yet he points out that over all these 11,000 states, one divine name in Ism of Allah is always dominant.
Allah. Just take a moment to absorb the sheer scale of that.
It is staggering.
It really is. Throughout your day, you feel hunger, thirst, anger, joy, curiosity, exhaustion. These are all physical and spiritual urges.
Right.
And Khawaja Sahib is telling us that you experience roughly 11,000 of these every single day. But what keeps you from fracturing into chaos?
That one.
Exactly. It is that one governing divine name, one specific divine attribute of Allah, that acts as an umbrella over your entire existence, holding your whole being in perfect, graceful equilibrium.
SubhanAllah. It is that equilibrium that connects us to the cosmos. And speaking of our connection to the universe, Khawaja Sahib brings up our senses.
Yes, he does.
He states that within every living soul, two types of senses operate. First, the senses that bring us closer to the unseen, and second, the senses that build a wall between the servant and the unseen.
A very thick wall sometimes.
Exactly. Which naturally begs the question, well, what is this wall actually made of? I mean, if I want to connect to the divine, what is physically or spiritually blocking me?
To understand the nature of this wall, we have to deeply understand the reality of light.
Okay, let's explore that.
Khawaja Sahib guides us to the realization that this entire universe is traveling within a halo of light.
Right.
But the light through which our physical eyes see has two distinct levels. There is an upper level and there is a lower level.
Let's unpack the difference between those two levels, because this is where the physics of spirituality gets really fascinating.
The upper level of light is the one our physical senses interact with directly.
The visible world.
Yes. Khawaja Sahib explains that the senses of this upper level contain both mass and dimensions. So weight, gravity, angles.
Right.
But the lower level, the internal or unseen level, consists entirely of pure dimensions without physical mass.
You know, I was trying to wrap my head around this and an analogy came to mind.
Well, please share.
Think of it like looking out a window at night. When the lights inside your room are on, they hit the glass and create a bright glare.
Yes, exactly.
That glare is like the upper level of light. It's thick, it's bright, and what is it made of? Well, it's made of the reflection of your own room.
Oh, that is a beautiful way to put it.
Right. In spiritual terms, that glare is made of our own ego, our selfish biases, our personal motives. And because that glare is so strong, it acts as a hard wall.
Yes, you can't see past it.
You can't see the profound, beautiful reality outside in the dark, which is the lower level, the unseen.
That is a brilliant way to visualize it. When you look through the lens of your own personal desires, you trap yourself in a very small room.
A room made of ego.
Exactly. Khawaja Sahib categorizes the information we receive into two types.
Oh.
First, biased information, which is based on our personal motives.
Right.
And second, unbiased information, where there is no individual greed. He states clearly that when we look from within our individuality, our selfishness, the universe does not participate in our vision.
Wow.
We are just seeing the glare of our own ego.
But when we drop those selfish motives.
Yes. When we drop them and look beyond our individuality, Khawaja Sahib tells us that the entire universe participates.
SubhanAllah.
You achieve a nonpartisan view. By stepping out of those heavy physical constraints at the upper level, your consciousness steps into the limitless domain of the subconscious.
And the sheer scale of that limitless subconscious is staggering. Khawaja Sahib's words here, they plunge the mind into an ocean of awe.
They really do.
He states that every human being simultaneously inhabits two worlds. The conscious world, which is highly limited, and the subconscious world, which is absolutely limitless.
Limitless.
Yes, and in this limitless domain, there are millions of galaxies, and within those galaxies, millions of worlds.
SubhanAllah.
But here's the part that gave me goosebumps. Khawaja Sahib reveals that in these millions of worlds, alongside other creations, mankind, Adamzad, is definitively present.
MashaAllah. Just let that sink in. We confine our concept of humanity to this one pale blue dot, this single Earth.
Right, our little planet.
But Khawaja Sahib expands our vision to realize that the human spirit, the Adamzad, populates millions of galaxies.
But I want to pause here and challenge our listeners' imagination, because Khawaja Sahib notes that while they are human in essence, their physical forms vary drastically based on the creative formulas of those specific worlds.
Yes, the physical vehicles are different.
He describes beings that are human, yet their bodies are entirely transparent like glass. Others have golden bodies. Some exist with a consistency like mercury. How does that still count as mankind?
Well, because the defining feature of Adamzad is not carbon-based flesh and bone.
It's not.
No. The defining feature is the spiritual capacity, the consciousness, the soul that was taught the names of all things by Allah.
Subhanallah.
The physical vehicle changes, whether it is carbon, transparent light, gold, or liquid mercury, because time and space operate differently in those realms.
Right, the environment dictates the form.
Exactly. But the essence, the species of mankind, is universally present. It is the vastness of our own subconscious that we are entirely blind to.
This seamlessly transitions us from metaphysics straight into quantum physics.
It really does bridge the gap.
If these limitless worlds and diverse human forms exist within light, what actually is light in space, according to Khawaja Sahib? Because he doesn't just treat this as poetry, he treats it as hard science.
He absolutely does. Hazrat Khawaja Shamsuddin Azeemi breaks this down on a scientific foundation that bridges physics and spirituality. He explains that the smallest particle of the light reaching us from the sun is the photon.
The photon?
Now, what is the most remarkable characteristic of a photon? Khawaja Sahib points out that it possesses no spatial dimensions.
Whoa.
It has no length, no width, and no thickness.
I need to stop you there because I'm struggling with this.
Sure.
If a photon has no dimensions, no length, width, or thickness, how does it end up creating the vast three-dimensional physical universe we live in?
It's a great question.
I mean, how do you get a physical planet out of something that takes up no space?
That is the miraculous mechanism of creation. Khawaja Sahib explains that a photon does not occupy space until it collides with another element.
Oh, wow.
Space itself, Makaniyat, is only born through the collision of photons with other elements present in the cosmos.
Subhanallah. So space isn't just an empty box that things exist inside.
No, at all.
Space is actively being created by the crashing together of light. And Khawaja Sahib notes that the smallest particle of this space is the electron. So the exact point where an electron and a photon collide is the exact point where our physical vision begins to see.
Exactly.
The entire physical universe, the swirling galaxies, the planetary rings, the heavy matter we stand on, is born from the collision of light from billions of stars.
Exactly. And to deepen this, Khawaja Sahib references the profound philosophy from the great spiritual scientist Qalandar Baba Alia's masterwork, Loho Kalam. He introduces two foundational levels of existence, the Kulzat and the Yaksat.
Let's define those for you listening. Think of the Kulzat as the universal self, your limitless subconscious that is interwoven with every particle in the universe.
Right.
And the Yaksat is your personal ego, your physical, localized, everyday self.
And the relationship between the two is a massive paradigm shift. Khawaja Sahib explains that the Kulzat transfers concepts to the Yaksat through the veil of light.
This brings us to a teaching that completely shatters our traditional understanding of biology and reality.
It really does.
Khawaja Sahib states that what we commonly call matter is actually manufactured by the machinery of the subconscious.
Yes.
We conventionally believe that the food we eat from the outside world builds our blood and our physical body. But he states this assumption is entirely wrong.
Allah, this is revolutionary.
Yeah.
Our bodies are not just the sum of the proteins and carbohydrates we consume.
Right.
Khawaja Sahib reveals that your subconscious actually takes unseen concepts and light and intricately transforms them into solid physical matter.
Sama.
You are quite literally materialized light, being constantly projected by your subconscious mind.
And the mechanism of death completely changes in this light. What is death then?
Exactly.
Khawaja Sahib points out that when the subconscious, the Kulzat, for whatever reason, stops making the arrangement to transfer these light concepts into matter, physical death occurs.
It just stops the projection.
Right. Death isn't just the heart stopping. It is the subconscious turning off the projector of light that sustains your physical illusion.
Once you grasp this philosophy of life and death, your entire concept of time and space, Zaman and Makan, completely shifts.
It has to.
Khawaja Sahib beautifully explains that time and space are not two separate things.
Yeah.
The unseen base of the information we receive through light, the part hidden from our sight, is called time, or Zaman.
Zaman?
And the visible features of that same light, what we can touch and measure, is called space, or Makan.
So time is just invisible space, and space is just visible time. It is all light.
It is all light.
And Khawaja Sahib emphasizes that the holy books are brimming with this advanced scientific knowledge. If we deeply reflect on the divine texts, we can surpass modern scientific limitations.
Absolutely.
He points out that the Quran and other sacred texts hold the formula for timelessness. the negation of time.
Yes, he uses the breathtaking example of the Queen of Sheba's throne during the era of Prophet Solomon.
Oh, that story is so powerful.
The throne was transported across a massive distance in the literal blink of an eye. This wasn't just a magical fairy tale.
Right, it was science.
It was the application of ilm ul-kitab, the knowledge of the book, which is the mastery over controlling time and space.
Subhanallah.
Khawaja Sahib notes that modern science is only just beginning to catch up. Science now acknowledges that every human and object is enveloped in a halo of light, an aura, which can even be captured using Kirlian photography.
Subhanallah. But this leads us to the most radical claim of all.
Yes, about our vision.
If everything is light, and we are manifestations of light controlled by our subconscious, how do our eyes actually work?
That is the big question.
We walk around all day assuming we are looking at trees, cars, and other people. But Khawaja Sahib states, from the perspective of the science of color and light, looking outside is not looking.
This is a highly delicate and profound spiritual station. Looking outside is an illusion.
An illusion.
Khawaja Sahib states that true seeing is actually observing the vision of our own soul. He provides a perfectly relatable example to explain this mechanism. Imagine a glass of water placed in front of you.
Okay, I am picturing it.
You think your physical eye sees the glass first?
Naturally.
But Khawaja Sahib explains the actual causality. The concept, the essence, and the image of that glass of water must first be reflected onto the screen of your mind, through your soul and inner knowledge.
Oh, wow.
Only after the image is projected onto your internal mental screen does the physical eye record it.
So nothing is acceptable to our physical vision unless its picture is first developed in the dark room of our mind.
Beautifully said, yes.
We don't see anything outside. We only see the reflections projected on the mirror of our own consciousness.
Exactly.
But I have to ask for a clarification here because listeners might be wondering, what happens when someone is tragically physically blind?
Right.
Or, to use Khawaja Sahib's example, when a person passes away, a deceased person's physical eye, the pupil, the cornea, the retina, is entirely intact.
Yes, the structure is there.
Structurally, the camera is perfect, so why can't they see?
That is the perfect question to prove the point. Khawaja Sahib clearly answers this. The deceased person cannot see, because the inner receptor, the connection that takes the reflection from the soul and transmits it to those physical cells, has been severed.
Ah, the connection is broken.
The screen of the mind is no longer feeding the image to the physical eye. The hardware is fine, but the spiritual software has disconnected.
It proves that the physical eye is just a passive lens. The actual seer is the soul.
The soul is the seer.
And this inner seeing, this spiritual knowing, extends to how we recognize each other. How do I know you? How do you recognize a friend's face in a crowd?
Khawaja Sahib reveals an astonishing universal law regarding this. He states that the entirety of the universe is collectively imprinted on the Lo'i Mahfuz, the preserved tablet.
Subhanallah.
Because everything is stored as a unified program on the preserved tablet, every individual in the cosmos subconsciously possesses the inner recognition of every other individual.
MashaAllah. So our inner self, our soul, recognizes another person through the images stored on the preserved tablet long before our physical eyes process their facial features.
Yes,
We already know everyone.
we do. And Khawaja Sahib categorizes this profound inner knowing into degrees of feeling.
Degrees of feeling.
He states that human existence, in its purest reality, is simply knowledge, your divine knowledge manifesting.
He breaks down the degrees so beautifully. He says, imagine an ant bites you.
Right?
You don't see the ant, but you feel the pain. That feeling is the first degree of this knowledge.
Yeah.
Seeing is merely the second degree of feeling. Hearing is the third degree. Smelling is the fourth degree. Touching is the fifth degree.
Allah, Allah. We're not just bones, blood, and tissue. We are a walking, breathing manifestation of divine knowledge that Allah has bestowed, experiencing the universe through different degrees of feeling.
Subhanallah.
The shift in perspective Khawaja Sahib offers us today doesn't just change how we view the world, it illuminates the heart.
It truly does. As we draw this profound conversation to a close, I want to leave you, our listener, with a deeply provocative thought to mull over.
Oh, please do.
If, as Hazrat Khawaja Shamsuddin Azeemi guides us, every single human being in the cosmos is already imprinted on your subconscious from the preserved tablet, if your soul already knows them.
Yes.
Think about your life tomorrow. When you walk out your door and meet someone, even a complete stranger on the street or a new colleague, what if that is not actually a new meeting?
MashaAllah.
What if, in the boundless ocean of light, every interaction you have is just a spiritual reunion? Two souls who have known each other since the dawn of creation, simply remembering one another in the light of today.
Subhanallah.
Take some time to reflect on that beautiful reality.
That is an incredibly moving and thought-provoking reflection.
And with that, we conclude today's deep dive. On your WhatsApp channel, subscribe, Melody of Divina like, subscribe, share, NUU, Wanu playlist, progress every, and UK I tell the playlist land step in the swap land.